Okay, in PHP, return method is used when you want to want a function to return something. You run a function for some purpose, and when your purpose is accomplished, then you return the function return from function. So that function do not execute after that line where you have written the return. So we use return if there is some error in arguments and or the arguments are not complete of a function. Let's create two files, index.php, and in this file we have require once functions.php. Functions.php is the file where we will keep our functions for testing purpose. Let's create that file now. Functions.php. Let's create a function here. Get list of months. Argument. In argument, we are going to get the selected month. So we can highlight that month. If the selected month is not given, then we will say you are not allowed to see this function. So what we will say, let's check that if argument, if empty, argument return what? Return a message. You have not given a month. You have not given a month to select. Alright. If argument is empty, then this. Otherwise, what we have to return will go here. Now let's call the function here. See, this function is returning something. If we write it echo here, then it will echo. Okay, so let's call the function here. Function file is included up, so we just have to write the name of function, and I will not give any argument in it. But if I don't give any argument in it, that will produce an error. So see, uncount argument count error means your arguments are missing. So we have to give an argument. I will give an empty argument. Empty. Now see, it's returning nothing. It's showing no output. Reason is because the function is returning something, but we are not catching that anywhere. If we had done echo inside function, then when function runs, it will echo the output itself. But when we return it, that means we are catching it outside. When function is running, we are getting something here, but we are not doing anything with what we are getting here. We can do several things, like we can echo that here first. Without that, see this, see, it's not outputting anything. But if you echo here, it is like this, and if you save it, the list of months, and now I have created a variable which holds the value what this function have returned. What you can do with that that return which we saved in this output return saved in this variable, you can see it's echo very well, and if you hide it, that will not do anything. Okay, so now we know that we have to select April. Alright, so now without it and with April, see, now this condition was not true, that's why function did not return and it have reached here. You wanna test if we reached here or not? Return here, I'm here now, and you will say that function have or code have crossed these lines. When we ran the index.php, it's index.php running. Okay, first line executed well, functions.php included in file. Then the second line, we returned an output from this function and saved that in this variable. Alright, and then we echo that variable here. So we can see that all lines, when this function runs, this is running till here. Alright, but we don't need this output. We need to output month. So what we will say, let's create an array of months is equal to January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. We have an array of month names. Alright, what we want to do, we want to return output as a table. So what we will do, output is equal to table starts, table ends. Okay, now in table we have to call a row for each month. We want to call a row for each month, so we have to put the months in loop for each months as month. So it will run until the array have some value. First time it will run for each, the month will be January, then February, then this, then that. So what we will do, output tr, output tr closed, output td closed, and over string here it's already closed, month. Okay, so we have output now, which we are not returning right now. We echo here what we get from the function, we save that here, then we echo that here, but right now we are not returning anything from function, so there is no output. What we will do then, return output. Now you can see of table is there. Let's put some border is equal to 1. Okay, okay, this is here padding, but sorry, It's not padding for cell padding. Cell padding is equal to 5 pixels. Alright, now what we want to do, what we want to highlight what is returned here. Okay, so what we can do, we can create a class, empty class, not here, we will create that inside loop. What we will say, month, if month equals argument, then class is selected. You can name it anything, your choice. Else nothing. So when the month comes here, April, it will make this condition true, and then class will become selected n. Otherwise on each run this will be not selected n. Okay, and we can call the class here like, sorry, class is equal to this here. Now this class do not have any CSS, so let's write a little piece of CSS here. We have to close PHP here, so we can write HTML. But see, it did not work. Maybe April is not right variable. Yes, it's all capital here. See now. Make it June. Make it July. That's it. So what the main purpose was to understand the return, why we are using the return and the function.